You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Morning greetings. On behalf of SHREE SANATAN DHARM Education Center, I, Garima Kheskani, welcome all to the mega inter-school event, the Kanpur Sahodaya School's English Elocution Competition for classes 6 to 8 of CBSE schools of Kanpur in Zone A. A much awaited activity after the long silence due to the pandemic. What joy it gives us to return to normal and gather once again for this healthy, confidence building and personality enhancing competition. We are privileged to have amongst us very distinguished ladies in our panel of judges. Please put your hands together for our first judge, Ma'am Katyayani Tomar. Ma'am Katyayani Tomar is Assistant Professor at the prestigious institute, PSIT. Ms. Katyayani Tomar ma'am is engaged in teaching English and training for the last 8 years. Ma'am also has an expertise in soft skills and personality development. We accord a warm welcome to Ma'am Katyayani. We are grateful to you for accepting our invitation. We are honored to have with us Madam Neeta Arora, President and founder of the NGO MKSC. Ma'am is also an executive member of Inner Wheel Club and a member of Shiksha Sudhar Parikar Kanpur. She is a writer and GK enthusiast by profession. We are indeed delighted to have such a multifaceted personality for expert judgment and advice. We welcome you wholeheartedly, ma'am. The next dignitary to honor us with a gracious presence is Dr. Kiran Chaudhary, ma'am. Ma'am was the Associate Professor and Head of English Department at SNSAIN BVPG College. She is a lifetime member of the Association for English Studies of India and a member of English Language Teachers Association of India. She has presented and published many research papers and also been awarded for her research project. Ma'am has blessed us with her presence many times in the past too. We welcome you, ma'am. We welcome Honorable Principal of the reputed Doon International School, Ma'am Dr. Krishna Chauhan. Ma'am Krishna Chauhan is here as the Honorable Observer on behalf of KSS to observe the fair conduct of the event. Ma'am has a vast experience of heading reputed Kanpur schools and taking them to great heights with her great dedication and good leadership. We welcome you, ma'am. We are truly honored by a great respect.
Best wishes to all the participants and greetings to the teachers. May the best team win. And everyone is a winner because you come up on the stage.
Thank you, ma'am. With immense admiration and affection, I welcome all the teachers, participants, and students present here. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity. As sunlight expels the darkness of night, similarly, life brings prosperity and happiness. To make this morning a blessed one, let us invoke Goddess Saraswati by kindling the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. I invite our manager Soni sir and esteemed ladies to kindle the lamp.
Toma Sadgamaya Samsoma
Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. I humbly invite our Principal Ma'am to address the gathering.
Hearty greetings to everyone present here today. The famous poet P.B. Shelley has rightly said, "If winter comes, spring cannot be far behind." After facing all the turmoil and tensions of the COVID times, we have finally bounced back to some normalcy. So this event today is truly a festive occasion for all of us. So we have gathered here finally for a physical competition. The KSS events, I must say, have come a very, very long way. Because it's not just about winning or losing. These competitions have been a great learning experience for everyone. When you are limited to your own school, your exposure is limited. But when you step out, you are exposed to new and better ideas. You get to see what is better than you. You get to see a different level of creativity. And then you yourself explore and work for perfection. This is the reason that the level of competitions has become better and better with each passing year. And of course, we have been getting a huge support from the intelligentsia of Kanpur. And today, once again, we have such esteemed ladies amongst us as jury members. Ma'am Nita Arora and Ma'am Katyayani Tomar have joined us here for the first time. We've had a number of competitions, but this is the first time they have joined us here, although they have been judging other competitions of KSS in other schools. We are very grateful to you for accepting our invitation. And Dr. Kiran Chaudhary is a well-known name in SSDC because she has supported almost all our English elocution competitions right from the time we had the very, very first KSS event in 2011. We are very grateful to you, ma'am, for your kind presence yet again today, and we hope to see you again in future. I'm very grateful to Dr. Krishna Chauhan, the principal of June International School, who's here as an observer. She herself is an expert in English speaking, and she has been guiding students from all over Kanpur and around to help them to become better speakers. So we are very grateful for her presence today. She will not be judging the competition. She is here as an observer to see that everything is conducted most fairly and everyone goes back very satisfied with everything, all the arrangements, judgment, and all of it. And of course, we seek her expert advice on the performance of students too. So thank you so much, ladies. for your kind presence today. My wishes and blessings to all the participants. I'm sure you're well prepared. Yes, children. And yeah, we hope to see some great performances today. My blessings to the teachers who are here with them, who must have guided them very well. And like I said in the beginning, let it be a learning experience, not just a venue to win or lose. So all the best to everyone once again. May the best one win. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. We are free to choose our paths, but we can't choose the consequences that come with them. Save up your energy and get ready to catch sight of some great flair. So let's gear up for a striking beginning of the show and welcome our articulate students of grade 8 who are going to present before you a choral recitation of the poem by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. Dear audience, their hard work to coordinate so beautifully with each other deserves a huge round of applause. Let's tighten our seatbelts to begin the competition. Students will be declaiming prose extracts. Please allow me to read the rules and regulations. Time allotted to each participant is 3.5 to 4 minutes. Points will be deducted for every 5 minutes in excess or short. A short bell will ring at 3.5 minutes and a long one at 4 minutes. Participants must be in white uniform. School belt, tie, school monogram on shirt or anything which gives away the identity of the school will lead to disqualification. Props, backdrops or use of anything to enhance the effect is not allowed. Participants are not allowed to read. Any type of prompting will lead to disqualification. Gestures should be kept to the bare minimum. Top 3 positions will be awarded trophies. 2 consolation prizes will also be given. Certificates will be awarded to all the participants. Parameters include selection of prose, memory, pronunciation and clarity, expression, confidence and poise. The first participant for the day is code E01, Archita Pandey.
People teach their children not to be selfish and not to say me and I. We all need others to survive, not just in our personal relationship, but in all our relationships. Think of we, not me. You will never know your own strength until you are tested by the adversity. Good morning to one and all present here. I, Archita Pandey, school code E01, is standing in front of you all to share a speech of a very eminent personality, Miss Muniba Mazari, the Iron Lady of Pakistan. She is also Pakistan's first anchor artist, model, singer, and motivational speaker who uses a wheelchair. Yes, she is physically disabled, but she always calls herself differently abled, and this spirit makes her different from all. Her idea of life is everything happens for a reason. We hear this line quite often that whatever happens to us, good or bad, we say that, oh, you know what, there must be a reason behind it. So relax. There are many incidents in life that had happened to you. They probably break you physically, they deform you physically, but they transform your soul. And all this happens because God wants you to become the best version of you. Incidents happen because life happens. But sometimes we are too busy expecting all the ease and comfort from life. And when some adversity comes, we wonder why this happened to us. The first question that comes to our mind is, why me? What she personally believes, as per her experiences in life, that life was never supposed to be easy. Life is a test, life is a trial, and trials are never easy. So why we are expecting so much ease and comfort from life? It is a journey which is full of obstacles and problems. But by the end of the day, if we choose not to give up, is what defines us. Someone said somewhere, and it's a beautiful thing to remember always, that we all are living a beautiful life that we always complain about. But someone, somewhere in the hospital bed, dreaming to live a life that we always complain about. So, whatever you have in your life, all the miseries and sorrows, just embrace it with all your heart and soul. And always remember that you are blessed. You have so much to be grateful for because gratitude is the key. So be grateful for what you have and you will always end up having more. I want to conclude with love yourself and learn to enjoy your own company. Because if you don't love your own company, nobody else will. Thank you and have a nice day.
It was a prodigious performance. I welcome Soni sir. Next Next, I call code E02 Aryan Gupta.
Good morning everyone, I am Shivesh Pandey. I am present here to present my English prose. The topic of my prose is Crisis of Civilization. Today I complete 80 years of my life. As I look back on the vast stretch of the years that lie behind me and see in clear perspective the history of my early development, I am struck by the change that has taken place both in my own attitude and the psychology of countrymen. The change that carries within it the cause of the profound tragedy. Our direct contact with larger world of men was linked up with the contemporary history of English, whom we came to know in those earlier days. It was mainly through the Amati literature that we formed our ideas with regards to these newcomers to our Indian shores. In those earlier days, the type of learning that was served out to us was neither plentiful and nor diverse, nor was the spirit of scientific inquiry very much in evidence. And I would like to, at a time to tentative attempts were being made to gain our national independence. At heart, we had lost faith in generosity to English race, as this belief was based upon the fact that England at the time provided shelter to those who had fled from persecution in their own country, political martyrs who had suffered from the honor of their people and accorded unserved welcome at the hands of English. I was impressed by this evidence of liberal humanity on the character of English. About this time, as a boy of England, I had opportunity to listening the speeches of John Bright. The large-hearted radical liberalism of those speeches were overflowing all narrow national bounds, had made so deep in my mind, and the object of dependence upon the charity of our rulers was no matter for pride, and it was object of dependence was no matter for pride, and the best and noblest gift of humanity cannot be the monopoly of a particular race or a country. Its scope may not be limited, nor may it be regarded as a miser sword buried underground. That is why English literature that we formed our ideas, that nourished our minds, does now even convey to its deep resonance to the seas of our heart. It is difficult to find suitable Bengali equivalent for the English word civilization. The phase of civilization with which we were familiar had been called Manu Sadachar, literally proper conduct. That is, the conduct prescribed by the tradition of the race. Thank you, everyone.
Time taken 3 minutes 31 seconds.
Indeed, a wondrous performance. Next, I call code E02 Aryan Gupta.
All that I am or hope to be, I owe to my angel mother, said Abraham Lincoln. Moms are strength, wisdom, and love personified. A very good morning to all present here. I am here to deliver a speech of a wrestler and public speaker, Mark Merrow, in the honor of the most important, amazing, and beautiful woman in each one's life that he delivered on the occasion of Mother's Day. My mom would be at all my sporting events. Let's say it was football. And when the play on the field started, she would run along and, "Mark, get up, get up." I'd be like, "Oh my gosh." I get huddled with the other guys. They go, "Mark, is that your mother?" I go, "No, I never saw her before in my life." You know, I hung out with losers and became the biggest loser of them. My friends would drive me home at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and when we pulled in front of my house, they go, "Mark, Mark, the light's on." I go, "Oh man, my mother up." See, my mom won't go to bed until she knew her son was still alive. I walked in. She said, "Hi Mark, how was your night? Can I talk to you for a minute?" I go, "Mom, I'm tired. I'm just gonna go to bed." She said, "Mark, I haven't seen you all day and all night. Can I please talk to you?" I said, "Man, just leave me alone. You bug me." I slammed my bedroom door on the one person who believed in me. I was in Japan for my wrestling match. When I was told to call home, "There's been an emergency," I went back to my hotel room phone, called back to the US and said, "Hey, what's going on?" He said, "Mark, I don't know how to tell you this." I said, "Just tell me, what happened?" He started crying. "Mark, your mother died." I flew home for the funeral, nervous to walk up to her casket. So I just stood way in the back, thinking to myself, "Mom, please wake up." When I finally got the nerve to walk up to her, I just stood over and said, "Mom, you are my hero. Everything I am, everything I hoped to be was because of you. You loved me so much. You were the only one who ever believed in me." And how did I repay her? By hanging out with losers? Why couldn't I have been a better son? I wish I could talk to you now, Mom. I wish. We are defined by our choices, but if you surround yourself with bad company, it's dead end. I'm not here to preach you. I'm here to tell you I lived that life. It leads to broken hearts, relationships, dreams, and death. If you have a mother or father, tell them how much you love them. I have learned how precious this gift of life is and how easily it can be taken away. I no longer live in time but in moments. Love is just a word until somebody comes along and gives it a meaning. You are the meaning. Thank you.
Time taken 4 minutes, 2 seconds.
Indeed, a spectacular performance. Coming up next is code E04.
Good morning, honorable jury, teachers, and my dear friends. Today I, School Code E04, would like to present an amazing commencement address of Admiral William H. McRaven on lessons of life at the University of Texas at Austin. The slogan is, "What starts here changes the world." I have been a Navy SEAL for 36 years. Basic SEAL training is 6 months of long, torturous calisthenics and misery. And I learned 10 lessons that will be of value to you as you move forward in life. The first thing in SEAL training was to make your bed. By doing this simple task, you will accomplish the first task of the day, which encourages you to do another task and another, and also reinforces the fact that little things in life matter. During SEAL training, students were divided into boat crew of 7 and a coxswain to guide. In order to get through the 8 to 10 feet high surf, every paddle must be synchronized. Everyone must exert equal effort. You can't change the world alone. You will need help from friends, colleagues, and mentors. So, if you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle. The best crew was the Munchkin crew, consisting of 7 people from different parts of the world. They out-paddled and outran all the other crews. In life, it's your will to succeed that matters. Not your color, not your ethnic background, not your education or social status. If you want to change the world, you have to measure a person by the size of their heart. Every day, there were multiple physical events which had standards. If you failed to meet them, your name was posted on a list and were invited to a circus, which was 2 hours of additional calisthenics designed to wear you down. But an interesting thing happened. Over time, those students got stronger physically. Life is filled with circus, but if you want to change the world, don't be afraid of the circus. During the land warfare phase of training, students had to swim across the breeding ground of the white shark. The instructors taught us that if a shark darts towards you, then summon up all your strength and punch him in the snout, and he will turn and swim away. The world is full of sharks. At the darkest moment of life, you must be calm and composed, and all your strength must be brought to bear. So never back down and be at your very best. The 9th week, that is the hell week, meant sleepless nights and harassment. And one special day at the mud flats in the bone-chilling cold night. At that moment of hopelessness, one voice raised in song, sung with great enthusiasm and encouragement. And somehow, the mud seemed a little warmer, the wind a little tamer, and the dawn not so far away. I learned the power of hope, the power of one person, Washington, Lincoln, or Mandela. If you want to quit the training, all you have to do is ring the bell that is hung, and then you don't have to endure the hardships. So, if you want to change the world, don't ever ring the bell. Thank you.
Time taken 3 minutes 58 seconds.
Undeniably, an excellent performance by Rishita Verma. The next competitor coming on stage is code E05, Agrima Singh.
Good morning to one and all present here. I, school code E05, stands in front of you to share the famous prose that daffodils gaze. It was a foggy day in March that found me idling along Baker Street, with my hands in my pockets, a scarf bound on my neck, 2 pairs of socks in my feet. The BBC had commissioned me to give a talk on village life in India. I realized I did really know much about village life in India, but didn't know about village electorates, that sort of thing. I realized I wasn't on Baker Street anymore. Wrapped into thoughts, I wandered into Regent's Park. A tall gentleman wearing a long grey cloak was stooping over a flower bed, and going up to him, I said, "Excuse me, sir, can you tell me how can I get out of here?" Sherlock Holmes wore a peaked hunting cap. He had fierce expressions in his eyes. "Good heaven, you are Mr. Sherlock Holmes, and you, sir, just out of India, unemployed, due to give lecture on the radio. But, how did you know all that?" He replied, "The BBC notepaper in your hand, which you have been scribbling, reveals your intention to give a talk. Your name is on the envelope, which you hold upside down behind it. It is 10 o'clock in the morning, and if you were not unemployed, then you would be sitting in an office, then restraining hands on the shoulders." He said, "Perhaps you. It's been helping to dig up the bulbs. Who do you think is stealing the daffodils? Said Holmes. Obviously, it is someone who owns a dog. Someone who takes dog regularly out for a morning walk. A large elderly woman in a green hat came walking stealthily across the grass, followed by a white little cough on a leg. The woman began pulling the daffodil bulbs out, and then Holmes leapt from the bushes. I would be obliged, Bond, if you would call the park attendant, he said to me. I hurried off towards the greenhouse, and after a brief search, found the gardener. I couldn't find Lady Anywhere nor the Holmes to be seen. Holmes must have taken to her to the police station. I said, Holmes? Who's Holmes? said the gardener. Sherlock Holmes, of course, the famous detective. Haven't you heard of him? I said, I found my way out of Regent's Park eventually, feeling that Holmes had let me down a little. As then I was crossing Baker Street, I thought I saw Sherlock Holmes. When the road was clear, I dashed across. But that time the Sherlocks had gone and the rooms above were dark. Thank you.
Time taken 3 minutes 28 seconds.
Yet another perfect performance. I must say, it's just the beginning and the competition is getting fierce. Next I call code E06 Ayushi Verma.
Good morning, everyone. School code E06. Let me tell you about myself. I'll take you back to the time when I was 6 years old. I was cute, I was talkative, and that was a bad combination for my mother. There was just one thing she asked me to do. Keep quiet. Now, forgetting this golden rule at a gala dinner, after the salads were served, I looked at my daddy's plate. I looked at mom. I again looked at daddy's plate, again looked at mom and said, Mommy, say yes. Sorry, honey, you need to speak up. I can't hear you. Mommy, can you eat caterpillar? Daddy eating something like a caterpillar. My mom's face flushed with anger. She got up from her seat, took me to a corner and said, Who do you think you are? To which I replied, No, Mommy, it's how I wonder what you are. Punishment wasn't much, but the message was deep. To speak the truth, you needed to have an age. And 6 wasn't it. Years after, I became a reserve chorister in a choir of 100 voices performing to an audience of 2,000. A reserve chorister. The highlight of the event was a British choir director who never believed I could sing. I went for every rehearsal and sat there thinking at least one of these voices would faint and fall off for God's sake. But none of them did. 5 minutes before the curtain raised on the day of the event, the open soloist collapsed and the British choir director panicked and said, Would anyone take it? Could you sing? The one at the back? Oh, for God's sake, I've trained 100 voices and none of you? This is ridiculous. I knew that my chance. I walked up to her and said, Madam, may I? She looked at me and said, What? A reserved chorister wants to open a show which I put my heart and soul and blood at. Don't you dare! I looked at her and said, Madam, you have 5 minutes and one choice. Without wasting a minute, I picked up the mic, went to the center of the stage. As 100 voices behind me, 2,000 people in front of me, the orchestra, the ambience is great, and I'm thinking to myself, who do you think you are? I took the mic, I let it closer, and closed my eyes and sang. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved the wretch like me. I opened my eyes to a standing ovation. British choir director. She looked me in the eye and said, I never knew. I looked at her and said, Madam, this is who I think I am. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you do when your own people, your community, people who are supposed to believe in you, don't? What do? You're differently able, but you want to make this world an able place. Don't ever stop. You're 26 years old and global warming bothers you? Don't stop, because you are a unique fingerprint of very special DNA that does not deserve to take your greatness to the grave. So next time someone questions you, who do you think you are? I look them in the eye, smile confidently and humbly say, someone better than yesterday. Better yet, someone you haven't met yet. Who do you think you are, ma'am? Thank you.
Time taken 3 minutes 46 seconds.
Let's hear it loud for an outstanding performance. Turning up next is code E07, Shaurya Singh.
Good morning, everyone. I am code E07 and today I'm here to express my views on the topic, are we running out of clean water? From space, our planet appears to be more ocean than Earth. But despite the water covering 71% of our planet's surface, more than half of the world's population still endures extreme water scarcity. The current estimates predict that by the year 2040, up to 20 more countries could be experiencing water shortage. Taken together, these statistics raise a startling question. Are we running out of clean water? And the answer can be both yes and no. Because at a planetary scale, Earth can never run out of fresh water, with all thanks to the water cycle. So the real question isn't about how much water there is, but about how much of it is accessible to us. Because 97% of the Earth's liquid is salt water, too loaded with minerals for us to drink or even use in agriculture. And from the remaining, 2% is frozen, which leaves us with even less than 1% of it for sustaining life on Earth. But humanity is guzzling up our water resources faster than they can be replenished, which leaves us with no other choice but to plunge it out of our finite underground reserve. So while it is true that we are not actually losing water, we are depleting our water resources faster than they can be replenished. You might be surprised to hear this, but most people consume approximately 3,000 liters of water per day, including their needs for drinking, washing, and food supplies. And yet, this only accounts to 3.6% of humanity's water consumption. Another 4.4% goes to the factories that make products we buy every day. And the remaining 92% is spent completely on one industry, agriculture. Agriculture poses as the biggest threat to our regional water, as it consumes water equivalent to 3.3 billion Olympic-sized swimming pools. And yet, it is also a necessity. So how do we limit agriculture's thirst while still feeding those who rely on it? Farmers are already coming up with ingenious ways to reduce their impact by breeding crops that consume lesser water. And other industries are also following suit by adopting production processes that recycle and reuse water. On a personal level, reducing food waste is the first step to reducing water wastage. At the end, I can only convey that our planet may never run out of fresh water, but it all depends on its wise use by us. Thank you and have a nice day.
Time taken 3 minutes 48 seconds.
This performance deserves a loud ovation. Our next speaker is code E08, Harshita Yadav.
Good morning, my respected teachers and dear friends. I am code E08. Today, I am happy to join with you today because today I am happy to join with you as the freedom of the demonstration of freedom. 50 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light to hope of millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro is still not free. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean. 100 years later, the Negro is still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. And so, we have come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say today, my friends. And so, even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American stream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that on the red hills of Georgia, little black men and white men will be able to join hands with the little black boys and white girls, and able to sit together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream today. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jagged discords of a nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. And this will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with a new meaning. My country, this of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of pilgrims' pride. From every mountain side, let freedom ring, and if Americans to be a great nation, this must become true. And so, let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Thank you.
Time taken 3 minutes 40 seconds.
It was an outstanding performance. I now call our next elocutionist, code E09, Kulsum Ansari.
But it's tough. Will you give up or will you be relentless? With this interesting query, I welcome esteemed judges, diligent teachers, and my dear friends. I, School Code E09, stand before you to orate one of the most famous speeches by Jeff Bezos, which says, "What matters more than your talents?" As a kid, I spent my summers with my grandparents on their ranch in Texas. My grandparents belonged to a caravan club, and I really looked forward to these trips with them. On one particular trip, I was about 10 years old. While I was rolling around at the back seat of the car, my grandmother kept smoking, and I absolutely hated the smell of it. Those days, I'd been hearing an ad campaign about smoking, which basically said every puff of a cigarette takes some number of minutes off your life. Maybe 2 minutes per puff. At any rate, I decided to do some maths for my grandmother. And when I was satisfied, I poked my head and proudly proclaimed, "At 2 minutes per puff, you have taken 9 years off your life." I have a vivid memory of what happened, and it was not what I expected. I expected to be applauded for my cleverness and great arithmetic skills. "Jeff, you're so smart. You must have made some tricky estimates." But that's not what happened. Instead, my grandmother burst into tears. I sat at the back seat and did not know what to do. Was I in trouble? My grandfather pulled over onto the shoulder of the highway. He got out of the car, opened my door, and gently and calmly said, "Jeff, one day you'll understand that it's harder to be kind than clever." What I want to talk to you about today is the difference between gifts and choices. Cleverness is a gift. Kindness is a choice. Gifts are easy, they're given after all. Choices can be hard. You can seduce yourself with your gifts if you're not careful, and if you do so, it'll probably be to the detriment of your choices. And I'm sure one of your gifts is a gift of a smart and capable brain, because if it wasn't so, you wouldn't have been here today. But how will you use these gifts? And will you take pride in your gifts or pride in your choices? Today, in a very real sense, your life, the life you author from scratch on your own, begins. How will you use these gifts? What choices will you make? Will inertia be your guide, or will you follow your passions? Will you follow dogma, or will you be original? Will you choose a life of ease or a life of service and adventure? Will you wilt under criticism, or will you follow convictions? Will you bluff it out when you're wrong, or will you apologize? When it's tough, will you give up, or will you be relentless? Will you be a cynic, or will you be a builder? Will you be clever at the expense of others, or will you be kind? I will hazard a prediction when you are 80 years old, and in a quiet moment of reflection, narrating for only yourself the most personal version of your life story. The telling will be the series of choices you have made. Because in the end, we are our choices. Build yourself a great story. Thank you and good luck.
Time taken 3 minutes 52 seconds.
Truly a lofty performance. Next I call code E10 Madhav Vijay.
Good morning, respected judges, teachers, and all my dear friends. I am Madhav Vijay, and the topic given to me for elocution is Ikigai. A reason for being the thing that gets you up in the morning. In Japanese, Ikigai is written by the combining symbols that means life fit to be worthwhile. Translate roughly as the happiness of always being busy. This is a passion inside you, a unique talent that drives you to say the best of yourself until the very end. If you don't know what is your Ikigai yet, as Victor Frankl said, your mission is to discover it. Our Ikigai is different for all of us, but one thing we have in common, we are all searching for its meaning. Our ikigai is hidden deep inside each of us, and finding it requires a search, a patience. Once you discover your ikigai, pursuing and nurturing it every day will bring meaning to your life. Now I am going to tell you the rules of Ikigai. The rules of Ikigai are: stay active, don't retire, take it slow, don't fill your stomach, get in shape for your next birthday smile, surround yourself with good friends, reconnect with nature, give thanks, follow your Ikigai. They have an important purpose in their life, or several. They have an ikigai, but they don't take it seriously. As mentioned above, these books cover many topics related to the art of living. The author defined ikigai that they conducted a total of 100 interviews in Okinawa to try to understand the longevity secrets of centurions and super centurions. How do Japanese artisans, engineers, Gen philosophy and cuisine have in common? Simplicity and attention to detail. So, how can you find your own ikigai? A more true and practical equation for ikigai is the cross between four principles represented for the followed question: what are you good at? What do you love to do? Does the world need it? Can you make money doing it? By answering these mentioned questions, you can find a sweet spot that checks all of these boxes to at least to 7 degrees. By doing so, you will get help to find your cult suite, which will be wholly fulfilling and meaningful for you. For example, if you are an artist who loves to draw and you have worked on your own craft, there are many routes you can take. But taking ikigai into consideration, perhaps you could be an illustrator. Illustrators help our favorite story come alive in TV and films. Illustrator inspire us to inspire us and cooperate with the difficulties of our daily life. I know I am not alone in saying that my favorite stories help me in my difficult time, and the character of those stories inspire me to this day. The author of this book, finding your own ikigai might take time, but you need to allow your curiosity to run free from exploring both yourself and world. To find your to find your perfect fit. However, it's worth of time and effort. The author of this book wish you a long, happy, and a purposeful life. Let me control my speech by saying the one thing that everyone with a clearly defined ikigai is that they pursue their passion no matter what. Thank you and have a fabulous day.
Time taken 3 minutes 43 seconds.
It was a beautiful performance. Learning is not attained by chance. It must be sought for with ardor and attended to with diligence. Here I call our next participant, code E12, Ojasvi Singh. Code E11, Ojasvi Singh.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. On 8th November 2016, at the Boston Convention Center, Vera Jones, an athlete turned motivational speaker, explained the difference between sight and vision. I'm here to reward this inspiring speech. Mom, I was outside and suddenly everything got dark. I'm telling you, something's wrong with my eyes. The past year, Andrew had been complaining of problems with his eyes, so I decided to get him to the pediatrician on Monday. Well, fast forward, it's Tuesday now, and all of a sudden, I heard this deep voice. It said, "Write this down." Out of me came a story about this woman who had these two knucklehead friends, one named Doubt and the other named Worry. And while she was hanging out with them, her whole world fell apart. Till one day, she made a new friend named Faith. And
And when she started hanging out with him, her entire life improved. On Wednesday, the doctors declared, Andrew has a very large brain tumor. We have to get it out immediately, else he might die. Flagrant foul. After surgery, the doctors finally said they had got it all. Those were the happiest 10 seconds of my life. My son was alive. But the only foul was, Andrew had lost his sight. He was blind. At that moment, I realized I was blind too because I had no clue how to explain this to my 10-year-old biscuit-loving son. And suddenly the tagline popped up. Stop hanging out with worry and doubt. Make faith your new best friend. So I held onto that faith and did everything I could to cheer him up. But Andrew cried. That's fine, but you're not the 10-year-old who bumps into things everywhere he goes. You're not the 10-year-old who doesn't get to play football. And then he would cry and cry and cry. I couldn't take it anymore, so I snapped and said, Stop it! I took him to the most congested place I could find. And he began to cry. I don't want to do this. I said, Stop it, Andrew. No, I won't. What if I bump into people? I said, you listen to me. You're going to get that cane, walk straight ahead. And if people get into your way, take that cane and just swing it like this and keep on moving. We have to face our fears. And he did. The lesson we learned that day is that your present vision is the faith in your future. Andrew is now a freshman at Florida State University, struggling and helping others with disabilities. You see, if you just trust your vision, it will lead you directly to your purpose. That's how we all win. Thank you.
Time taken 3 minutes 39 seconds.
Undeniably, she is a majestic orator. To break the ice, next I call code E12, Akriti Singh.
Kites are objects of inspiration. They can teach us a whole lot of life management skills. Good morning, everyone. Today, I, code number this, is going to share a few lessons which I learned from these kites. Fly high against the wind. The way kites fly against the wind is amazing. They don't fly with the wind, though the turbulence in the air forces the kite to lose track and move here and there. The kite still manages to maneuver itself using aerodynamic skills. When circumstances are against, the general trend is to lose hope and surrender. This is when one should take inspiration from these kites. The sky is never the limit for those who have the will and determination to be successful. More the challenges, the study would be the success. Being connected, a kite beautifully demonstrates the value of basics. One may rise too high in career, but the moment connection with the basics of character, attitude, and discipline is lost, all the success is likely to dwindle away. The kite string is one of the most essential elements in its flying phenomenon. Taller is the thread, better are the chances of survival in today's business-wise competitive and socially adulterated environment. The tail. A kite flies high while the tail swirls behind. A kite tail gives us a message to always leave track of the lessons learned. Success follows success, and there's every chance that some people might be following our path. Sharing of information with such followers propagates prosperity in the society. As Mr. Narayan Murthy quotes in one speech, my sincere hope is that sharing of lessons learned in life will help you see your own trials and tribulations for the hidden blessings they can be. Life is an act of balance. What do you do if the kite does not take off? First, try to adjust the balances, isn't it? A kite is as good as the balance and symmetry it maintains. No matter how beautiful the kite is, if you fail to balance the fitting spots or the string, it won't fly well enough. We live in a mutually interdependent lifestyles, and life is all about balance. If we know the needs and demands of the people around us and our society, it is sure that we would bang harsh and round. When things do not change the way we wish it to, try setting the balances right. Life is as we choose it. Our experiences in life are directly proportional to the choices we make. Children either make a kite or buy it. If they buy a kite, next they have to choose where and when to fly a kite. Life is a series of the seasons. The view of multiple kites decorating the sky sets a wonderful exhilaration. However, all that looks beautiful is not always very easy and simple. Sometimes the kite gets praise in the sky in spite of flyers' best efforts. What do you do in such situations? Get the lessons and take the decision to fly another kite, isn't it? Likewise, some days are not just ours, and things do not work out our way. What do we do next? If we surrender, the story ends. However, when we are patient and carry on with our efforts, the sight of success reappears. Thank you.
Time taken 3 minutes 36 seconds.
It was an outstanding performance. Our next declaimer is code E30, Lavanya Dureja.
And good morning everyone. My code number is E30. Today my topic for this elocution is be different. No matter what your differences are, you have to embrace them and be proud of the way you are. One of the greatest talent in life is being yourself in a world that's trying to make you like everyone else. For research purpose, scientists placed 5 monkeys in a cage with a ladder in the middle and bananas on the top. Every time a monkey went up the ladder, the scientists soaked the rest of the monkeys with cold water. After a while, whenever a monkey attempted to climb the ladder, others would beat him up. After some time, no monkey dared go up the ladder, regardless of the temptation. Scientists then decided to replace one of the monkeys. As expected, the new monkey instantly fell for the temptation and was beaten up by the rest. After several beatings, this new member learned not to climb up the ladder, even though he never learned the real reason. Then a second monkey was brought in and the same thing happened. The first monkey participated in the beating of the second monkey. The replacement continued until only a group of 5 monkeys were left in the cage. If you would ask any of the monkeys why the beating took place, the answer would probably be, well, how do I know? I guess that's how things are done around here. So the conclusion is, you will never influence the world if you continue doing the things the way they have always been done. So be different, create chaos, leave an ego behind. Stop apologizing. Don't be afraid of what others would say about you. You are skilled, capable, and talented. You deserve to be a leader, and you are enough. Leading can be uncomfortable, so don't be afraid to own your seat. You are capable. Lean back and kick your feet up. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Time taken 3 minutes and 8 seconds.
Another excellent performance. Coming next is code E14, Arif Raj Mishra.
Fall behind, one faster. Never give up, never surrender, and rise up against the odds. A very pleasant morning to one and all present here. Today I am code E14 here to speak on the topic never give up and keep going. When you feel like giving up, don't. When you are thinking about giving up, don't. When it looks like that you can't make it, just keep going. When people tell you that you can't, who are they? Who are the people to tell you? When they tell you that you are not going to make it, just don't believe them. You got to be relentless. Don't give up. Stay in it. Stay focused. Quitting guarantees the failure. Once you quit, it rules out any chance of succeeding. The mere waking up every day, putting the next foot in front of the next foot, in front of the next foot, at least keeps you in the game. But you can always choose in the midst of this, all of this going on, to be happy in spite of life's challenges. See, a lot of us, because of our limited vision about ourselves, a lot of us who start to focus on their problems and enable them to overwhelm us. We start to believe that there are no options. We start to believe that there is no way out. Well, guess what? There's always a way out. Where there is a will, there is a way. We have two primary choices in our life. We can either accept conditions as they exist or take responsibility to change them. But still, a lot of us want to exempt themselves from taking this responsibility. All they want to do is just talk about their problems. Whenever you see them, whenever you meet them, they'll tell you their same old story over and over and over and over again. No. You have to take responsibility for your life. I got me here and I can get me out of this, and this will not let me down. I'm not a volunteered victim. I am unstoppable. You have to make that kind of declarations to yourself. I never met anyone who became incredibly successful in any area of their life until they have suffered and sweated and they kept their focus and they enable themselves in a constant action, and they have never considered themselves as losers. And if you have a dream and you commit to it, it shall come to pass. You have to be patient and enable yourself in a constant action. We live in a world, ladies and gentlemen, where everyone wants instant gratification. They want it right here and right now. But let me tell you, it is simple, but it is not easy. To experience that level of achievement, what is it that gives you the drive? What is it that tells you that you are able? What is it that gives you the courage to come back again and again and again? And what is it that no matter how badly you are knocked out, you are coming back again and again and again? And the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is never giving up and never losing hope. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.
Time taken 3 minutes 46 seconds.
That's right. Today is always the most productive day of your week. Our next speaker is code E15, Charu Lal.
If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, keep moving. A pleasant morning to everyone present here. I, Charulal, code E015, is going to present an elocution speech. Marcus Aurelius once said, "It's not the death that we should fear. We should fear never beginning to live." Life is challenging. It's full of ups and downs. We think, I wish the things could be just still. I wish the things could be stopped changing. I wish my problems would go away. We want a life that's steady with a path that's flat. Yet as Deborah Evans once said, life is like an ECG. Without the ups and downs, you're not living. Because this is what a flat line looks. And this is what a lifeline looks. When you feel those highest highs, those extreme peaks, we are ecstatic to be on the summit. When we are on the lowest lows and the deepest valley of our life, we try it safe and avoid all the risks. But when we seek security and prioritize passiveness, we don't realize that a flat line means we are dead. If we always trying to live our life at the sea level, we never know what's life truly about. That what we judge as good and bad are in fact deeply connected. How could we ever experience how wonderful happiness is if we never felt sadness? How could we know the taste of success if we never failed? How could we know the comfort of gratitude if we never lost? But somehow we got an idea to be successful and moving forward in life means we are constantly moving. But have you ever read a book, watched a movie, or seen a case study like that? Actually, they don't exist. Every story has a word telling peaks, valleys, success, and setbacks. Our brain are wired for novelty when something new, whether it is a fantastic surprise or a huge challenge, it lights up. We thrive on learning and opportunity to grow. Yet our brain becomes easily accustomed to these patterns and make it harder for us to change. Dramatic disruptions help us to break these patterns and invite and experience the world in a whole new way. In the journey of life, there'll be pleasure and pain. There'll be loss and gain. There'll be sunshine and rain. But we must learn to keep moving in life forward again and again. So if you open your eyes this morning, if you're healthy enough to move about and get your sense of food, if you're able to go to refrigerator and find it was full and stocked, if you had a roof over your head, so just remember how grateful you are for all those things we consider to be basic, but for all others, they don't even exist it. We can't stop the life ups and downs, but we can change how we experience them. Because as once Helen Keller said, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Thank you.
Time taken 3 minutes 34 seconds.
Another beautiful performance. With great enthusiasm, I now call our next participant, code E16, Vainavi Sudhir.
Good morning to the honorable jury members. My school code is E16. Today, I would like to take this opportunity to present the Book of Nature, a personal letter written by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru to his daughter Indira Gandhi when she was a child. The letter deals with the beginning of Earth and of man's awareness of himself. It arouses the feeling of interest in the world around. When you and I are together, you often ask me questions about many things, and I try to answer them. Now that you are in Missouri and I am in Allahabad, we cannot have these talks. I am therefore going to write to you from time to time short accounts of the story of our Earth and the many countries, great and small, into which it is divided. You have read a little about English history and Indian history, but England is only a little island, and India, though a big country, is only a small part of the Earth's surface. If you want to know something about this world of ours, we must think of all the countries and all the people that inhabit it, and not merely one little country where we may have been born. You read history in books, but in old times, when men did not exist, surely books could have been written. How then did we find out what happened then? We cannot merely sit down and imagine everything. This would be very interesting, for we could imagine anything we wanted, and would thus make up the most beautiful fairy tales. But this need not be true, as it would not be based on any facts that we had seen. But although we have no books written in those far off days, fortunately, we have some things which tell us a great deal as well, almost as a book would. We have rocks and mountains and seas and stars and rivers and deserts and fossils of old animals. These and other like things are a book for the earth's story, and the real way to understand their story is not merely to read about it in other people's book, but to go to the great book of nature itself. You will, I hope, soon begin to learn this story from the rocks and the mountains. Imagine how fascinating it is. Every little stone that you see lying on the road or on the mountainside may be a little page in the nature's book and may be able to tell you something if you only knew how to read it. To be able to read any language, Hindi or English or Urdu, you must learn its alphabet. So also you must learn the alphabet of nature before you can read its story in its book of stone and rock. Even now perhaps you know a little how to read this. If you see a little round shiny pebble, does it not tell you something? How did it get round, smooth and shiny without any corners or rough edges? If you break a big rock into small bits, each bit is rough and has corners and rough edges. It is not at all like a round, smooth pebble. How then did the pebble get so round, smooth and shiny? It will tell you its story if you have eyes to see and ears to hear it. It tells you that once upon a time, it may be long ago, it was a bit of rock. Just like the bit you break from a big rock or stone with plenty of corners and edges. Probably it rested on some mountainside. Then came the rain and washed it down to the little valley where it found a mountain stream which pushed it on till it reached a little river, and the little river took it to the big river. All the while it rolled at the bottom of the river and its edges were worn away and its rough surface was smooth and shiny. So it became the pebble that you see. Somehow the river left it behind and you found it. If the river had carried it on, it would have become smaller and smaller till at last it became a grain of sand and joined its brothers at the seaside to make a beautiful beach where little children can play and make castles out of. If a little pebble can tell you so much, how much more could we learn from all the rocks and mountains and the many other things we see around us? Thank you.
Time taken 3 minutes 58 seconds.
Wonderful performance. Competition is all geared up, setting up new frontiers. Without further delay, I call our next orator, code E17, Nimansha.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mimansha, and today I'm here to present a story, The Great Stone Face. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Ernest. He lived in the valley. The valley was surrounded by the great range of mountains. There was a mountain named the Great Stone Face. The Ernest's mother told him an old prophecy that her mother told her when she was a kid, that one day a man will born in this valley and be the best novelist of his time and have a same resemblance of the great stone face. Listening all these stories, Ernest eagerly wanted to meet that resemblance of the great stone face. After some years, the rumor spread all over the valley that the great resemblance of the prophetic man is returning to the valley to
Relax, relax. Take your time.
Our next performer is code E18, Aditi Pathak.
Good morning, everyone. My code number is E18. My name is Aditi Pathak. I am very glad to have got this golden opportunity, and I told about a story how the camel got his arm. This is a imaginary story, not a real. First of all, one is dog, and one a camel, and one the jinn. And dog is the say, the camel. The dog is the say the camel. The dog is the say the camel to work hard, but the camel is not to work, and he was only a rest. He was only doing a rest. But dog is a tell us he to do the work. So the dog and the horse to go the jinn. But the jinn is tell she is work. But camel is always called the hump. Camel not do the work. Camel cannot do the any work. But dog is doing a work, and buffalo is doing the work, and horse also doing a work. But camel is not doing the work. But the jinn is near the camel, and he says, you do the work, and you do the work, so you are the best animal. But camel always says the hump. So camel goes to the river. She was see the sad shade in the river. So jinn near the camel and says to do the work, but camel not to the work, not going to the work. So jinn tell us, you always say the hump, so you get the hump. So camel says hump. So jinn get the hump. The camel says proud of me. Says proud of me. In the finale of my speech, I would like to grab your attention by speaking some lines. Firstly and lastly, it was a imaginary story. Thank you.
Time taken 3 minutes 18 seconds.
That's right. Our next speaker is code E19, Sayyid Wali Abbas.
Good morning, everyone. I, code E19, is standing here in front of you to deliver a speech on willpower. People do not lack strength, they lack the will, said Victor Hugo. It is because of this we find physically strong men with a wavering mind and feeble will, but not succeeding in life. 5 frail men with a challenging body are able to achieve great things in their life. We possess will in some measures. However, great souls have been known to exercising it to achieve the impossible, while lesser mortals in its absence lead an ignoble existence. We know of men who have been able to achieve great things in their life, not on account of their physical power, but on account of their willpower. We know that if we keenly desire to do something in our life, no one can demotivate us, no one can stop us. This is akin to a personal life experience of learning cycling. While learning cycling, we fall at times, but we did not stop. Sometimes we bruised ourselves, but we did not stop. And after so many days, we mastered the technique. Thus, initial failures should not stop you from achieving your ambitious goal. For we know that there is no shortcut to success. The only shortcut, the only key, the only path, the only book, the only man, the only thing to success is hard work. And I believe our constant perseverance will sooner or later bear us fruit. A great man once said that failures are the pillars of success and a stepping stone to glory. It is in meeting challenges and facing adversity that we improve ourselves. For he that wrestles with us strengthens our nerves and sharpens our skill. Our antagonist is our helper, said Edmund Burke. Thus, meeting challenges and overcoming them is the essence of life. We would not be privy to such spectacular developments had our predecessors not overcome the challenges posed by nature to them. They had. And there is in fact that nothing is impossible to achieve. Even Napoleon rightly once said that the word impossible exists in the dictionary of fools. And my personal experience says that the word impossible itself says, I am possible. The history of mankind, replete with instances of how ordinary people have achieved great things in their lives. So, I would like to end up my speech by saying that good people have will and feeble ones have just wishes. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Time taken 3 minutes 44 seconds.
Indeed, a marvelous performance. There is no chance, no fate that can hinder or control the firm resolve of a determined soul. And now call upon, last but not the least performer for today, code E20, Yashasvi Bajpai.
Good morning, everyone. Today I school code E20. I am going to deliver a famous speech by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, My Vision for India, IIT Hyderabad 2011. I have 3 visions for India. In 3,000 years of our history, people from all over the world have come and invaded us, captured our lands, conquered our minds. From Alexander onwards, the Greeks, the Turks, the Mughals, the Portuguese, the British, the Dutch, the French, all of them came and looted us, took over what was ours. Yet, we have not done this to any other nation. We have not conquered anyone. We have not grabbed their lands, their history, their culture, and tried to enforce our way of life on them. Why? Because we respect the freedom of others. That is why my first vision is that of freedom. I believe India got its first vision in 1857 when we started the War of Independence. It is the freedom that we must protect and nurture and build on. If we are not free, no one will respect us. We have 10% growth rates in most of our areas. Our poverty levels are falling. Our achievements are being globally recognized today. Yet we lack the self-confidence to see ourselves as a developed nation, self-reliant and self-assured. Isn't this incorrect? My second vision for India is development. For 50 years we have been a developing nation. It is time to see ourselves as a developed nation. We are among top 5 nations in the world in terms of GDP. I have a third vision. India must stand up to the world. Because I believe unless India stands up to the world, no one will respect us. Only strength respects strength. We must be strong, not only as a military power, but also as an economic power. Both must go hand in hand. My great fortune was to have worked with 3 great minds. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai of Department of Space, Professor Satish Dhawan, who succeeded him, and Dr. Brahma Prakash, the father of nuclear material. I was lucky to have worked with all 3 of them deeply and consider this the great opportunity of my life. I was in Hyderabad giving this lecture when a 14-year-old girl asked me for my autograph. I asked her what her goal in life is. She replied, I want to live in a developed India. For her, you and I have to make this developed India. You must proclaim that India is not an underdeveloped nation. It is a highly developed nation. You say that our government is inefficient. You say that our laws are too old. You say that the municipality doesn't pick up the garbage. You say that the railways are a joke. The phone doesn't work. The airline is the worst in the world. And the mails never reach their destination. You say that our country has been fed to the dogs and is the absolute pits. You say, and say. What do you do about it? Dear Indians, I am echoing JF Kennedy's words to his fellow Americans to relate to India. Ask what we can do for India and do what has to be done to make India what America and other Western countries are today. Thank you.
Time total 3 minutes 45 seconds.
Another perfect performance. I request the teachers in charge of Sapadapan Singhania Education Center and Allen House School Classy Line to kindly go to evaluation room to verify the results. Music is the literature of the heart. It commences where speech ends. To mitigate the aura, our school choir is here for a musical treat.
That everyone would say.
no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. Now I request Ma'am Katyayani to please come and illuminate us with the kind words.
Good morning, everybody. I hope I'm audible like this only. Yes, Okay, good morning, everyone. Firstly, let me tell you this, that students who were speaking today, when I was your age, I used to shiver coming here. I never thought that I would teach English because I was never good in English. So this is the reality of my life. But one thing I must say that you are very exposed to knowledge, and yes, I really like the confidence. And for people who are shivering here, I would just have one tip for you, and that is, it is better to come up here and speak just to be an audience always. So even if you feel fearful, you feel underconfident, or you feel that okay, this is not cup of my tea, that day you should come down, break your own rules, and come up to this stage and speak. Do participate in your life, because when I get students in engineering, the only thing we think is that they are very good in English, but their personality is somewhere which needs to be shaped up. So if you are doing it from age this, like 11, 12 or 13, there is a long way going, and trust me, when you go to the industry, everybody is obviously there sitting for a job, or you want to pursue a career ahead. Something spoken plus personalities, which is everybody looking forward to. Even if your grammar is shaky, your pronunciations are shaky, but you have confidence to speak, to carry forward, you win the world. So I ask every student that, apart from these heavy English, please do focus on your personality development as well. You should really, speak to yourself, speak to your friends. And the best thing to learn is to speak to each other. So you develop something, area where you talk to each other in English, or you play games with each other in English. That is very, very important to this. But I was very, I really liked it, that the content which you had searched, you have prepared yourself, and to come up at this age and speak so much about APJ Abdul Kalam, or whether it's Lincoln, we were not aware of this, to be true. But it is very, very good, and I must say that all the schools are trying their best to put in efforts. So please do good to yourself, and be good to you as well as a human also, and develop your skills in 360 zones, just not the book zone. You need to have your personality, your soft skills, plus your academics as well. Thank you, everybody.
I humbly solicit Ma'am Neeta to elucidate the gathering with her kind words.
Good morning, everybody. I thoroughly enjoyed the participation of all the students, and also the hard work of the teachers who guided the students. I am a social activist. I emphasize on the point, others before self. That is the motto which we should all incorporate today in our daily lives. Everybody is unique. Nobody is a loser and nobody is a winner. Just concentrate on what talent, the potential that you have. Some topics over here, very close to my heart. Willpower. Second was keep going. If you can't run, crawl. Movement is essential for your life, your success, and being human. Don't run after materialism. Don't run after brands. Don't run after one-upmanship. If everybody is unique, then nobody is lesser than the next one. Concentrate on that. You have to be humane to be a human being. Differentiate between what the world is going towards and what is really existing in the world. You have to differentiate. Choices. A child spoke about choices. You have to make a choice. It is totally your responsibility. There is no escapism here. Don't play the blame game. I am what I am, and I have to become better. I have to keep on learning. Learning never stops. You don't reach perfection. You have to keep on striving towards it. Then we can say with our eyes up that yes, I struggled, I strived, and today I am what I am because of my conviction, my belief, and my confidence. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inspiring words. I request our revered guest, Kiran ma'am, to come and enlighten us.
My warm greetings to the dignitaries assembled in the auditorium, to the teachers, and to my dear students. This has been a really splendid performance. I've been looking forward to attending it ever since Madam Das invited me. So a big thanks to you, Madam Das, for always calling me here. And of course, this was nothing short of stupendous. At the outset, let me remind you, I've been a teacher, so I'll always be a teacher in my life. I will have a word of advice for my dear students, but first and foremost, I must congratulate all the participants, even the one who was not able to speak, for having the guts to come up on the stage and talk, because stage fright is really intimidating. So, and coupled with that, a big shout out to all the teachers who have trained their students to speak so effectively and so eloquently. Elocution, after all, is nothing else but the poetry of prose. So why not stop and consider why speaking efficiently and eloquently is very important in our life? Not only now, but as we move ahead, it becomes more and more important. My dear children, English is a language of communication, and it is a language of global communication. We are living in a global village today. You may be here tomorrow, the next day you may be somewhere else. Right now you are within the hallowed portals of your school. Soon you will be stepping out and taking up careers in your life. And then you must know, it is imperative for you to know how to use your language suitably, and you must be able to communicate, to express your ideas whether it is in the classroom or in corporate boardrooms or anywhere in life. If you are able to put across your ideas, half the battle is won. Of course, not to say that glossophobia does not pull us back, it does. The fear of public speaking does hold us all back. But there are ways to overcome it with a slight, slight means more than slight, a bit of determination, confidence in yourself, and faith that you will be able to achieve the impossible. We can always move ahead, and we must then adopt the 4 P's in our life. Plan, then prepare, of course practice is a must, and then perform. And then you will see that the results will come in automatically and you will have nothing to fear in life. Because nothing is more impressive than hearing someone speak very impressively and perfectly, and when you are able to get your meaning across to the other person. Now, dear children, you are going to step ahead and of course choose your careers. In this world where technology is, there are revolutions in technology nearly every day. We have artificial intelligence and we have augmented reality and virtual reality and so on and so forth. Many things of which even I am not aware. And you will be attracted to those careers in your life. Needless to say, you will have to acquire and polish up skills which are suited to those careers. But it goes without saying that you have to keep on honing your communication skills very, very assiduously. And if you do that, if you are able to speak in real life situations, then you are a winner all the way. Well, with these words, I would like to sum up my speech and wish you lots of luck and success in all your future adventures. May God bless you, children. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am Krishna, we are so glad to have you here. We would like you to share your thoughts.
Respected jury members, Shobha ma'am, all must be wondering why I am calling her ma'am. She is my ma'am. She's my senior from my school days when I was a teacher, and that stays with me. She's an encyclopedia for me. I keep admiring her from front as well as behind the screens also. Keep observing, learning how to take things ahead. So I'm a small learner, ma'am. I may make a lot of mistakes. Sharing a platform, sitting here as Dome Principal, sharing the chair with ma'am is an honor. Honor given by God, blessing of my seniors. And children, this is my takeaway for you. Your teachers are always mentoring you to make you better human beings. Your seniors, your teachers, your mentors, your parents, everyone in life always gives you a takeaway. Only you have to open your eyes of your mind in order to take those, perceive those, to take them forward. Do not hesitate because of your failure. One of our participants very rightly shared, we do not stop cycling when we fall. We even bruise ourselves. We have bandages on our knees, on our elbows, but we never stop. We might stop scooting, but we never stop cycling. That's the aim of life. Keep walking, keep learning, keep growing, and we all are unique, as ma'am rightly said. Each individual has its own identity. We cannot compare ourselves, and do not compare yourself. Because you, as an individual, God made you, you are the best. If not today is your day, maybe tomorrow. So please, children, learn from your seniors, open your mind eyes, do not, and especially their strictness, their warnings, they have a big message behind. All the best for all the participants. Today is the day for few, others it's tomorrow, next time. So do not get disheartened. For us, all of you are winners in your own way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I now request our principal ma'am to present mementos to our venerated guest as expression of her gratitude and the inexplicable bond we have forged with them. On behalf of everyone, we would like to thank you for your time. Your presence has been very valuable for us today. Let's wait for 5 minutes for the results to come.
डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन यहाँ से खींचना पड़ेगा स्टैंड को ऐसे उठाना नीचे से और ऊपर पे डिस्प्ले
Very, very encouraging. Even when we have our inter-house competitions and inter-class competitions, then also our manager sir is always there, right? So we may make our own judgments, but then he is always there with his keen eye, and he always suggests a few names to be awarded, always. And so today also he was here just for that. And he has decided to give a couple of cash prizes to some of the participants. We don't know yet whether these children have really won or not. But this is a token of appreciation from the management for these children. And since we are going to start with the distribution of the certificates also, I request all our judges to kindly give away these cash prizes to these children, the deserving children. Could you kindly come, ma'am? Ma'am, we want you all here on the stage. And Pooja ma'am will announce these prizes. These are cash prizes of rupees 1100 for 5 participants.
hear it for Aryan Gupta E2. Well done, my boy. You were really expressive. And a big round of applause for Ayushi Verma E6. Well done, Ayushi. Next up, the cash prize winner is Kulsum Ansari from E09. Very expressive, loud, beautiful intonations, both the girls. I call upon Ojasvi Singh E11. I think the girl brigade is getting a mark over here. Well done, Ojasvi. Beautifully expressed. And next we have Sayyid Bali Abbas from E19. And a commendation for Garima Kheskani, the compere of the day. Well done, Garima. Please move up.
We can hear the loud.
Yeah. It takes a lot of effort to come up and speak in front of such esteemed judges. Thank you, ma'am. Your advice is really worth it. And now we are still waiting for the results. It will just take a moment for us to bring the certificates of the participants as well as of the winners. Model School, please come and collect your participation certificate. Next up, we have Aryan Gupta from Sir Padampat Singhania Education Center. Next in line is Shreesh Pandey from Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Vidyalaya. I call upon Rishita Verma from Delhi Public School, Azad Nagar. Next in line is Agrima Singh from Vinyas Public School. It's Ayushi Verma from Delhi Public School. Since the school has got over, so our audience have gone back home. So the applause is a little less here. Okay. I call upon Shaurya Singh from Dr. Viren Swaroop Public School, Kalyanpur. Next in line, Harshita Yadav from Maharana Pratap Education Center. Next up, Kulsum Ansari from Allen House Public School, Kalasi line. Followed by Madhav Vijay from Ascent Public School. I call upon Ojasvi Singh from the Chintel Schools, Kalyanpur. Time now for Akriti Singh from Scholar Mission School. Madhav Vijay from Ascent Public School. Well done, Madhav. Ojasvi Singh. We have Akriti Singh from Scholar Mission School. Next up, Lavanya Dureja from PR Vasan Public School. I call upon Arav Raj Mishra from the Jain International School. It's called for Charu Lal from Fatima Convent School. Let's clap for Venavi Sudhir from GT Goenka Public School. Let's hear it from Imansha from Jaina Ryan Vidya Mandir Inter College. I think she's left. We have Aditi Pathak from Jugal Devi Saraswati Vidya Mandir. Let's applaud for Syed Bali Abbas from Gaurav Memorial International School. And I call upon Yashasvi Bajpai from Nurture International School. Indeed, it has been a very, very incredible day learning such long pieces of prose and delivering them with such perfection, beautiful intonations. They all need a big round of applause to come up on this prestigious stage of Kanpur Sahodaya schools and present themselves. So indeed, a landmark in their student life. And as we still await for the results, it takes a lot of calculation and then only are we able to get the results. much awaited moment has arrived, and I take a lot of pleasure to call upon Ayushi Verma from Delhi Public School, Barra, who stands third in the competition, and this position is also shared by SHREE Bajpai of Nurture International School, well-deserved children. At the second place, we have Kulsum Ansari from Allen House Public School, Khalasila. Let's hear it loud for Kulsum Ansari. And hold your breaths to hear for Charu Lal from Fatima Convent, who stands at the top of the ladder, standing first. And now for the consolation, I call upon Shaurya Singh from Dr. Viren Swarup Public School, Kalyanpur. Well done, Shaurya. Thank you, ma'am. Education Center. Please give her a big hand. She deserves all the glory of coming and speaking up on the stage. Well done, child.
Until he rises above the confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. I request everyone to rise up for national anthem. I request the teachers in charge and participants to kindly move to the sports complex for refreshments. Thank you, everyone.